Let's talk internet in an RV. So my Xbox does really good at picking up Wi-Fi. I don't understand exactly why, but it does. So using campground Wi-Fi is problematic in most cases. Most places don't have the capability to do much of anything with the Wi-Fi other than check like emails, stuff like that. But with my Xbox, I can stream Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, play video games, a lot. But it does need Wi-Fi. So campground Wi-Fi's in general don't work. So I have to use my phone. My phone is a Verizon, and I can turn this into a hotspot and leave it plugged in someplace to keep it charged up. Now the Verizons, I did have their 10 gigabytes, and after you use up your 10 gigabytes, you're done. No more until the following billing period, right? But for like an extra $5, went from 10 gigabytes to 15 gigabytes, which isn't that much when you're burning through a lot of Wi-Fi. But it didn't shut off the Wi-Fi after 15 gigabytes. It just reduced it to very small amounts apparently. But I can still, with that throttling they've done to me, until the following billing period comes along, I can still watch Amazon Prime mostly. Every now and then it does kind of pixelate and gets kind of, and every now and then it will drop out. And I'll just restart Amazon Prime back up to watch movies. Hulu, forget it. I don't understand. There's something, maybe the data rate is too high with Hulu, but I can't use, once they've throttled me, I can't use my Hulu through my phone. But I can use Netflix. So Netflix still works. Okay, so that's how I can watch stuff and do a lot of stuff with using my phone as a Wi-Fi. Now, here's the interesting thing is, I don't understand why it is. My laptop, trying to get onto campground Wi-Fi's usually doesn't work so well. And the phone, when I try to use the phone to get on campground Wi-Fi, sometimes it doesn't work so well. But that Xbox, it's way to go. It connects up with campground Wi-Fi's. Now, since I'm trying to upload a video, I have another option with the truck for $20. It's through, I think it's AT&T, $20. I get unlimited internet access and no throttling for $20 a month. So that's what I'm currently doing. But there is limitations to the truck's Wi-Fi. The truck has to be close. Not as close as I am right now. But, so I'll show you. But the truck does have to be close, because I found that when I was in the bed and I had the Xbox hooked up to the truck's Wi-Fi, the truck had to be spun around. I couldn't have the bed of the truck facing towards me. Too far, too much metal, I don't know, but it wouldn't work. So I spun the truck around at a different campground and put the truck front end to the trailer, and it worked great. Now I'm really close right now, so you'll see what I'm saying. So now I've got my truck from the kitchen, right? I got my laptop sitting up there, so it's close to the truck. But yeah, a little bit of air gap there. I didn't mean to get that close, but that's what happened. So the truck's Wi-Fi, I'm not sure where it is in here, but it is able to get to my Xbox just fine, and it's unlimited internet on AT&T. But there's limitations in that the truck has like a 15-minute timer, and it times out, and then you can do another 15-minute timer. That's with the engine running. But I think by holding the start button for 10 seconds, it keeps the electronics on the truck turned on, so that I can use the truck's electronics to get the Wi-Fi router going, so I can hook up. There comes along another limitation is I killed the battery a week ago, I think it was, in El Paso. Yeah, I think it was in El Paso. That would have been about 3 weeks ago. Because I turned the Wi-Fi on during the truck on to use the Wi-Fi during daytime, and the truck has a sensor that once it got dark enough, it turned on all the lights. like it's nighttime. So the truck wanted all those lights on, and I didn't realize that all those lights were on for probably about an hour or so. And then I came outside to give Jasmine a potty break, and that's when I saw that all the truck's lights were all on, and the radio was on, because I didn't turn the radio off either. And yeah, turned off all those lights and used the Wi-Fi for another hour or so. And the next morning there wasn't enough juice to start the truck. It was enough to get most of the electronics and everything, although it acted funky. Lots of things were weird with electronics until I got the jumped and charged back up, and then everything's fine again. But the truck Wi-Fi, $20, unlimited, AT&T. I just have to be close-ish, probably not this close, to use the truck's Wi-Fi inside the RV. Don't understand my puppy dog. All this space, and yet she chooses to use my sandal as a pillow. I'm not sure how they get this massive crowd of ants. I don't see them crawling outside the RV on the stands, the tires, hoses, or anything. But not to worry, their life is short-lived here soon enough. I guess they're somehow crawled in the back of my refrigerator. Somehow. Maybe on the outside of the RV through the vent for the refrigerator. The queen must have flew in, created a nest, and that's how I've got all these ants now. But I'm guessing by tonight there'll be no more ants. They'll be all dead. So there's the lower portion of the refrigerator. I don't see anything in here. Here's the back side, top part of the refrigerator. I don't see anything in here either. So where are those ants coming from? Huh. Well, let's look somewhere else. I moved the bait trap on them closer to their, where I think they're coming out of the wall. But they're not happy with the fact that I moved it. I moved it somewhere down here is where they're coming out of. And it looks to me like there's already piling up some dead ones, because I don't see them moving. So this has got to be really close to the entrance somewhere behind the refrigerator on the slide out. They're not happy. I had the ant problem before about 2 years ago, and I put that bait trap out before I got rid of them. But I accumulated some more somehow. They didn't pay for admission. No ride for them. Okay, so solved the bearing problem. Looks like it was a cotter pin that was rubbing on the grease cap, and it freed up the grease cap and popped it off on both sides. As you can see, it's pretty clean now. But those ants, I have no idea. I think I figures they must have moved into the trailer possibly last week, because I can't find, now I'm at a different campground, and I can't find any entry points and anything that touches the ground where those ants are climbing up into the rig. So they've got to be nesting in the rig somewhere. Let's check out the other side. Look at that guy. Look at that. That's the way they're supposed to look. But yeah, I've checked the legs, the tires, contact point here. water hose, electric hose. Those little bastards got in the trailer, I'm guessing last week, built a nest, and I brought the nest here, and they've decided to make a home in my kitchen. So here's where I mounted my old submarine rack curtain. Submarine rack curtains had 2 blue curtains, and then for some people like myself who went out and bought this little insert because it has all these extra pockets where I can put so much more extra stuff into my rack by hanging off of the curtain in the rack. Now I did make a mistake. I used a staple gun to put it up here, but I made it too tight, so it's kind of hard to get inside these. So I'll have to probably redo that, but I'm not even sure if I like it because it's kind of, I mean, it's in the way to get to those. But I don't know. I tried for years back here, right? So I tried for years to put that rack curtain back here with these pieces of Velcro and using these little Velcro hooks. But the problem is when I had it up here on these Velcro hooks, inevitably while I'm in the bed and I would roll over at night with that curtain right here, I would inadvertently snag that curtain and pull it down. And just over time, the adhesive on the tape on the back of those hooks would fail, so it just didn't work. Now, I'll tell you what though, one of the other things we did a lot with submarines in our racks is use a lot of Velcro. So using double-sided Velcro, I solved the problem. I used to put it up here on this ledge, right? And then I'd have my glasses up here, but then inevitably I'd be filling up here, and while I'm reaching for one thing, this stuff would fall, land on my head. My head would be right here, so that was never a good thing. All right, so I thought about those ants. I figured I got them when I was at Cars in Cape Canaveral. All that rain was causing all those ants to crawl up out of the ground, and they crawled up into my rig. And the reason why I think it came from there is because when I was hooking up to leave, I'm walking in and out of puddles. I had all this stuff getting on my feet when I was wearing my sandals. And I just figured I was getting jabbed by pieces of plant material or whatever. And I finally realized I was being stung by ants. I had all these ants crawling all over my foot while I'm hooking up the trailer and doing all the chains and everything. So I've used this stuff before, these taro baits. It's sodium tetraborate decahydrate, so it's just borax. And I've had these for a couple of years. I got one more plus this one, and all you do is pull off this plastic tab and set it down, and the ants will find it. This works really great. So yeah, that's solves the ant problem. One of the other things is, so this trailer is on the door. It says 2,921 dry weight, right, for the weight of the trailer. I just assumed I was always below my towing capacity of my Toyota 4Runner that I've had for years and years. And I towed this trailer for 4 years with it. And that Toyota 4Runner could pull 5,000 pounds. Pretty decent for an SUV. But now I know the truth. The truth is, even with all the stuff I have in this trailer, dry weight 2,921 pounds, but even with all my stuff, I come in only 3,300 pounds. So I had a lot of room to spare with my Toyota 4Runner. It was never a concern. Now I've got this dually. The dually can pull 20,000 pounds off of just the bumper. It's not a concern with the dually. But the reason for the dually is so that eventually at some point when I save up enough money, I can get a slightly larger travel trailer because I'm tired of my toilet being in the shower. Because inevitably whenever I get a shower in the morning, everything in there is wet, right? And that's when I need to go and use the toilet. So now everything in there is wet, whatever, right? It'd also be nicer to have a better position for the TV. Best place for that TV viewing is actually from the bed, and I'm kind of tired of watching TV from bed. But I like all my big counter space, so if I can keep that, that'd be great. But yeah, 3,300 pounds, so it's never a problem. Hey, on a different note, if any of this stuff I'm doing is interesting to you, I'd appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. But more than that is down in the comment section, if you can put down any kind of comment, things you like, things you don't like. I'm in North Central Florida, just north of Gainesville. If you can put a comment in the next couple of days while I'm still down here in Gainesville of anything that you would like to see around here, that I could potentially go swing by, grab a couple of minutes worth of video that you might be interested in, put that in the comment section so that I can go and do that for you guys. Hey, appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thanks. This is actually part of submarine rack curtains had two submarine rack curtains had two black